All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show here on Monday, October 24th, 2022. Let me get everything fixed here. There we go. Got a pretty good slate of games tonight. Got one NFL game. Got some NBA action going on tonight. Joining me like always, my dad Tony Gonzalez. We'll get started. Go ahead real quick. Over the weekend, I'll give you guys my record on some picks. On the UFC Saturday afternoon, I was my picks were 10-2. Friday night, the picks I gave out on Friday went 4-1. I was 1-0 in baseball with the under the 7, and then I was 3-1 in the NBA on Friday night. Saturday college football, I gave out 3 picks. I went 2-1. And in NFL yesterday, I gave out 3 picks and I went 1-2. The game I got right was the Jets. that sounds funny even saying it. The Jets was the game that I had right. That sounds funny even saying it. The Jets was the game that I had right. All right.
Yeah, Jets are playing pretty good right now.
Yeah, they are. But they had a big injury to the running back.
I just seen that. Brees Hall out for the year.
Yeah, Brees Hall out for the year. So that sucks for them. But I ain't gonna lie. It's good to see some of these teams that have been bad for so long starting to be a little more competitive. It's just gonna make the NFL even better because there's gonna be a little more parity and more good teams. I think that's good for the league.
You know, you guys were mentioning about running backs on the show. I caught the tail end of your guys' earlier show, and you guys mentioned some running backs. Carolina's got 2. I don't know what else they have, but Colts have got 4 running backs.
Yep. Yeah. I didn't even think about them. And you could see maybe the Jets going after maybe like a guy like Lindsey or somebody like that.
Who's proven. The Colts ain't gonna give up the rookie. Yeah. I don't see them giving up Hines.
Well, I think the Jets just are going to be looking for somebody to have for this season because they're going to expect Hall to be back next year. So I think they would take somebody like maybe a Leonard or somebody like that, or not Leonard. Yeah, Lindsey or I hate to say it, I'd get rid of Hines before I'd get rid of that rookie Jackson. I like the way that Jackson runs the ball, and he's just physical.
I don't know about the contract situation with Hines. I don't know if he just got paid.
And I was going to say Jackson would be cheaper.
Oh yeah, big time. And Jackson has looked really well, really good, and Lindsey's looked pretty good. And the time he's got a short amount he's got to play.
Hey, what's up, Glenn? Yeah, I got Pacers at Philly tonight. That's actually, I think, the first NBA game of the night.
And this is a little bit off topic here, but what do you think about the Colts' big move today?
Yeah, if anybody hasn't heard, the Colts just announced they're going to be starting Sam Ehlinger the rest of the season. They're benching Matt Ryan. It has came out Matt Ryan has a hurt shoulder, but the Colts, and this came from the Colts website by Zach Kiefer. I want to give him credit. We've known Zach for a while, but he said that the Colts were planning on making this move regardless if Ryan was healthy or not. They then said that I guess it came out that Reich said that he felt like he done everything that they've gotten as far as they could with Ryan, and that he thinks Ellinger might provide a spark.
My opinion.
I think it was generosity.
I think it came from the owner. I think also Ellinger moving to the number 2 spot a week or so ago came from the owner. That's just my opinion. I mean, it ain't like I know anything. I don't. That's just my opinion.
Well, and I think Glenn says Lovett probably should have done it sooner. I think it is that. I think them releasing Foles and moving him up was probably like trying to put pressure on Ryan. Like, hey, dude. And don't get me wrong, it has not been all Ryan's fault.
No,
it has not been all Ryan's fault.
Maybe and to be fair, we was at a wrestling show. I didn't get to see the game.
Yeah.
I know he threw 2 picks, one for pick 6.
That's all touchdown they got.
Our defense did all they could do to hold them. What they did. They didn't score an actual touchdown against us, but our offense didn't move the ball really, and didn't score for whatever reasons. We had chances. We was only down 16-10 in the fourth quarter with the ball.
Yeah.
So when we had opportunity, and I guess bottom line, Ryan makes a pretty good contract, and he was brought there to win games, and they had won games. So, I mean, they've got every right to put somebody else in. I hope Ellinger is the right guy. I mean, it's going to be tough now. We've lost twice to Tennessee. Yeah. It's not impossible that we still win the division, but it's a lot tougher now.
Yeah. Glenn says not enough blame to go around, but Ryan just not good fit with this offense. It hadn't really clicked. They looked like it was starting to click there against Jacksonville that last game, but we'll talk more about the Colts later this evening. Join us for Horseshoe Talk live on the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Right around usually at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But we do have a football game tonight. Get the Bears on prime time again. I don't know.
Right, man. That's great.
Bears and Patriots. Patriots are 8.5 point favorites.
Let me ask you something. Do you think the Patriots are? I mean, I'm not saying they beat the last couple of games, the greatest competition, but do you think maybe people are sleeping on them a little bit, the way the defense is playing and the way that quarterback's playing?
Maybe a little bit. I'd like to see them play, like you said, a little bit better competition. But I think they found something in this quarterback. They've looked better with him than what they did Mac Jones. But the rumor is Mac Jones is going to start tonight.
Really?
And that kind of surprised me the way Zappi's been playing. If they do start Jones, I don't think Jones makes it through the whole game. I really don't, because if he starts playing a little bad, I think they'll make the switch.
My thing, to me, the same deal with Dak. Why push him back? You got somebody playing well. I'm not saying I wouldn't go back to Jones. I'm not saying eventually, but not now.
I think it just said Nick Foles is going to be the backup for the Colts now. So moved him up to number 2. But we'll see. But the Bears and Patriots. I like the Patriots to win this game. Bears just hasn't showed me nothing on offense at all, really. They have a decent defense, but they're on the field so much that it usually gets. Glenn Ryan dropped a 3, but they're saying he's going to get put on season-ending IR, is what I've been reading as well. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited though about Sunday to see what the offense looks like with Ellinger.
Yep.
We scored 10 points yesterday, so it can't be much worse.
Well, offense hasn't been real great this year, other than one game.
We're averaging like 12. We're averaging barely 13 points a game.
Yeah,
you're not going to win a whole lot of games like that.
You can't say that's unfair. Now, the offensive line the first 4 or 5 games were terrible. So I mean, you had to give Ryan some slack on that. But one thing about Ellinger, he's a lot more mobile. He's I think a little bigger, maybe a little stronger. I think he can actually run with the football a little bit if he needs to. I think he's a different type quarterback, and maybe with the offensive line the way it is, maybe that's what's needed.
Yeah, we're going to find out. But Bears and Patriots, like I said, I like the Patriots here, even though I think they are going to start Mac Jones. But like I said, I can see them going back to Zappi pretty quick. The chemistry with Zappi, the offense looked totally different. But I don't like the Patriots enough to lay 8.5 points. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's why I think I could see this being a low-scoring game because New England's going to want to run the ball, play defense. Yep. Bears don't have a high-powered offense, so and this is actually went down. I had it at 40.5, the under 40.5 is but now it's 39.5. So it's actually went down. So if you like the under, I'd get it now, because it might get down to 37, 38, 37 by kickoff tonight. But at 30, even at 39.5, I'd still take the under. Like I said, I got it earlier at under 40.5. And I think that's a good pick. But you have to get it at the best number. I'd get it now at 39.5, but if it gets down to like 38, 37, then you're getting in that range. But because I can see maybe both teams being under 20 points. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
And then in the NBA tonight, like Glenn was talking about, I have the Indiana Pacers at the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers are 12-point favorites, minus 800 on the money line. Pacers are plus 520 on the money line. Over under for this game's at 229.5. I think 12 points is way too many. Sixers haven't won a game, but they did lose to the Celtics, and then lost to the Bucks. So that's them two are good. But then I'm trying to remember who they lost. They just lost their last game to. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was a team that you wouldn't consider like a top team, but the Celtics and Bucks are two. I could see you losing them. But they're 0-3. Pacers are 1-3. They got to win over 1-2.
1-2.
They got to win over Detroit, which I think might have been the best team that they played. One of the better teams that they played so far. I'm not saying that I don't know if the Pacers will win this game, but I like this Pacers team. They're a young, scrappy team. They battle. All their games have been close. I like the Pacers plus the 12 points. I think 12 points is too many.
I agree. I mean, you said 12 points. I'm like, man.
Especially for a team that hasn't won a game. Then got the Orlando Magic at the New York Knicks. Knicks are 7.5-point favorites, minus 295 on the money line. The Magic are plus 240 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 21.5.
Knicks have been struggling a little bit too, haven't they?
Yes. Knicks have been struggling. I want to take. It makes me want to take the Orlando on the plus 7.5, but Orlando's been struggling as well. They just aren't real good. This is a game I'd probably go with the Knicks, but 7.5 points is too many points to me. But it's a game I think maybe the under the 221.5. Under the 221.5, I think is a good bet on this game, because neither one of these teams have high-powered offenses. So I would lean toward the under on this game. Raptors and Heat. The Heat are 3.5-point favorites at home, minus 164 on the money line. Raptors are plus 138 on the money line. I like the Heat in this game. Over under for this game is at 216, or excuse me, 215. And this could be a low-scoring game as well, because the Heat plays good defense. Raptors play pretty good defense as well. But I like the Heat at the minus 3.5 in this game. And I'd probably lean toward the under the 215. Utah Jazz at the Houston Rockets is the next game. The Jazz are 2.5-point favorites, minus 136 on the money line. The Rockets are plus 116 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 234.5. I like the Jazz here. Actually, on the money line, I would take them on the money line, not worry about the 2.5 points. But I like the Jazz. I know they don't have Donovan Mitchell no more. They're a different team. They really don't have a superstar, but they've been playing good together, and they actually I think the Jazz beat the Sixers last night, I think, if I remember correctly. But they're playing pretty good ball right now, early in the season. So I like the Jazz there. The over 234.5. That's a lot of damn points. But I mean, I don't think either one of these teams have great defenses as well. So I would probably stay away from over under on this game, but I do like the Jazz at the money line. Then you have the Brooklyn Nets at the Memphis Grizzlies. I think this could be a good game tonight. Got two teams that have a lot of talent on there. They have the Grizzlies as 1-point favorites at home, minus 112 on the money line. The Nets are minus 104, so they have this game close to a pick 'em. Over unders at 233. I like the Nets here in this game against the Grizzlies. I think the Nets have more talent. We'll see if they show up, but I like the Nets here at the. I'll go on the money line to -104. I mean, you're getting better odds than if you take the +1. Then Celtics and Bulls. I think this could be a good game, but I like the Celtics in this game. Celtics are 6-point favorites, -230 on the money line. The Bulls are have won one game. They're 1-2. They are +190 on the money line at home, so they're a home dog. Overs 225.5. I like the Celtics at the -6 in this game. And then we have the Spurs at the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are 8.5-point favorites at home, -360 on the money line. The Spurs are +290 on the money line. Over under for this game is 234.5. I like the Timberwolves in this game, but I wouldn't give up 8.5 points because I think this is going to be a close game. The Spurs they play a lot of close games. And then you have the Nuggets at the Trailblazers. Nuggets are 4.5-point favorites, -190 on the money line. The Trailblazers are +160 on the money line. They're home dogs. They are 3-0 on the season. Nuggets, I believe, are 2-1. I lean toward the Nuggets at the -4.5 is what I lean toward. This is a game I'm not going to give out. It's not going to be. I'll be honest, not going to be on my best picks. But I do lean toward the Nuggets at the -4.5, and I lean toward the over the 226 in that game. That's all. That's all the NBA games for today.
Anything? I mean, I know it's really early in the season. Any big surprises to you so far with the NBA season?
Not really. I would say maybe the Jazz look a little bit better than what I thought they would, but no real big surprise.
Do you expect the Lakers look as bad as they've looked?
Yeah, I didn't think they'd make the playoffs.
Really?
Going in, I mean, they had basically the same team they had last year, and they barely made the play. And I don't trust Anthony Davis staying healthy all year, and LeBron at his age. Yeah, nothing against LeBron because he's a great player.
Great player. I mean,
but
still,
at his age, he's not going to play 82 games. So,
and a young LeBron would have had a better chance of carrying a team.
Yes,
he can't carry a team,
and there's no shooting on this team.
No shooting.
And I said it last year when they brought Westbrook in, that it was a bad fit because he's not a shooter, and they needed a shooter. They didn't need. They could have had Caruso, Buddy Hield, and DeMar DeRozan on that team for $10 million less than what they're paying Russell Westbrook.
Big mistake. Huge mistake.
And all three of them guys are shooters.
And now they're wanting to get Harold from the Pacers.
Yeah. I hope Pacers don't take Westbrook. I really
why would that would be a.
But here's my thing. That to me, that don't even make the Lakers contenders. You put Hield and Turner on that team. How much better does that make the Lakers? To me, a little bit, but it ain't enough to consider them a big threat.
No, the Lakers messed up when they
traded away all the young
players.
Ingram and Caruso.
That's when they messed
up. They kept them guys. They got impatient, but they did get a championship out of it. So,
but now they could be in a lot worse position than they were before then. And why would anybody in their right mind? I want somebody to explain to me why the Pacers would want to make that deal. There's no reason.
Especially because the 2 first-round draft picks that they would get are like for 27 and 28 or something. All right,
that wouldn't make any sense.
No, that's 4 or 5 years, 3-4 years down the road.
I'm not saying I have a problem making a trade if you get something good out of it, but that I don't consider that good.
I don't either.
I mean, if there's another team,
I'll be mad if the Pacers make that trade. I'm gonna be mad. But we know who's going to be in the World Series now.
Yes, we do. It's
going to be the Philadelphia Phillies against the Houston Astros. Series starts on Friday. It makes me so mad that it don't start till Friday. I have to wait all week. I wish it would have started like tomorrow.
At least Wednesday.
At earliest Wednesday. But Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Houston has home field advantage, so we'll start in Houston. And early odds on it. The Astros are -164 on the money line, and you have the Phillies as underdogs at +138. I think it's going to be Wheeler against Verlander in the first game, from what I'm hearing. They don't have on here. It still says to be determined, but from all the reports I've been seeing and hearing, it's going to be a Wheeler and Verlander. So it should be a good game. Wheeler's only gave up like 2 or 3 hits in 12 innings that he's pitched in the playoffs. Verlander had one good game and one game where he gave up 6 runs.
Houston, I thought would be bigger favorites.
You know, they open up as a bigger favorite.
I did.
It might move. I think maybe by Friday they might be a bigger favorite than what they are, because I think a lot of people are going to be betting a lot on them. I want the Phillies. I ain't gonna lie. I want the Phillies to win, but I mean,
Well, the Phillies are.
they're going to have to play.
Phillies are on a roll. They're
on a roll.
They're a different team than they were during the regular season.
I almost have that feeling like the Nationals, how they got hot in that playoff run. To me, that's what the Phillies is kind of
even the
like.
Braves last year.
Yeah, we're like the Braves last year, getting hot at the right time.
But you can't say Houston's not on a roll. Well, they won 7 straight. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're on a roll also. So you can't say they're not. They've won some tough games. You know,
the only thing though is that the 2 teams Houston played couldn't hit the ball.
Yeah, they didn't hit the ball.
The Guardians wasn't known for hitting the ball, so that wasn't a big surprise. Yankees have a better hitting lineup, but they didn't hit the ball. I think the Phillies are going to hit the ball, and so I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun series because of that. Bryce Harper's hitting over 400 for the playoffs. That's just crazy.
Yep.
I mean, you don't hear that. That's unreal. He's hitting over 400, like 419. Schwarber's starting to heat up and kind of play like he did when he played in the playoffs with the Cubs. Tell you what, he's a dangerous batter to have at leadoff because he can take first pitch of the game for a home run. Castellanos is starting to hit the ball. Actually, their whole lineup, it's like everybody in their lineup has kind of got going at the same time. Thing I do worry about a little bit is having these 4 or 5 days off. How's that going to affect you? But it'll be interesting because Verlander don't like pitching on any extra days rest.
Yeah, that's true
as well. So it's going to be interesting. I haven't decided who I'm going to pick yet. Like I said, I'm a National League guy, so I'd like to see the Phillies win. And it's not because of the Astros, the 2017 stuff or any of that, because I don't hold that as high a regard as some people do, because they weren't the only team doing it. And if you think they were the only team doing it, then you haven't watched baseball long enough, because every team is trying. And I'm talking about at almost any level. If a team can figure out the other team's signs, they'll try to do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not just in professional baseball. That's just how baseball's been forever. It's part of this, I don't know, almost kind of part of the strategic thing.
And I'm not saying it's not an advantage to have the signs, but that ain't gonna guarantee you're gonna win.
No.
You got to hit the ball. And Houston won the World Series that year. They won the World Series. The way I look at it.
Yeah. And look what they've done the last 3 or 4 years since then.
Yeah.
They keep getting to the World Series. They got a new manager, new GM. I mean, it's a all new culture. It seems like, because I don't see anything like that happening with Dusty Baker and running the ship. And that's no reason. That's the only reason I would kind of like to see Astros win, is because it'd be cool to see Dusty Baker finally get a World Series.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for the Phillies. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we're both kind of National League fans.
And if the Phillies win, Jay McLovin is going to be so mad.
Oh yes.
If the Phillies win, you definitely want to tune in to either the Gonzo Sports Room channel or the All Sports All Plays Network or Unscripted, because Jay McLovin will go on a great rant. Let's take a look. We'll take a look real quick at some of these NFL games that kind of catch our eye for this week. Tonight's game, like I said, it's not a real big game. You got the Ravens at the Bucks. These are 2 teams that, I mean, the Bucks are really struggling. The Ravens are having trouble closing out games. They almost blew another game yesterday against the Browns. And the Ravens are 1.5 point favorites on the road, minus 132 on the money line. Then you have the Broncos at the Jaguars. Broncos are not looking good at all.
No.
I don't know if that coach is going to make it all season. But I don't, and I'm not saying it's all his fault either, because Russell Wilson hasn't looked right. But is it the scheme, or is it the play call? You know what I mean? It's hard.
Wilson didn't play yesterday, right?
No, that Rippon played yesterday. But the Jaguars are 3.5 point favorites, minus 180 on the money line. I kind of like the Jags in that spot. I'd like to get it at 3, better than 3.5, but I do like the Jags in that spot against the Broncos, especially at home. Jacksonville seems to play better at home than they do on the road. Then you have the Bears at the Cowboys on Sunday. Quick turnaround for the Bears. I think the Cowboys defense is just going to be too much for the Bears, but they have the Cowboys as 10.5-point favorites. Then you have Raiders at Saints. Raiders are 1.5-point favorites, minus 126 on the money line. I like that's a tough one there. I want to know who's playing the quarterback for the Saints. Is Winston going to be back? It'd be nice if they get Michael Thomas back one of these days, but so that game there to me is almost a toss up because the Raiders have not been playing well.
I'm hoping Thomas comes back this week.
Yeah, I have him on one of my fantasy teams. Panthers at Falcons. Panthers trade away McCaffrey, and then all of a sudden they win a game.
No, not only that, Foreman and Hubbard, the two fill-ins running backs, rushed for about 155 yards between the two of them, plus caught a couple passes each.
You know what I liked about it? PJ Walker getting a win. I like PJ Walker. He was on the practice squad with the Colts, and then I was a big XFL fan. Not the first one. Well, I watched the first one too, but it wasn't near as good as the second time.
Yep.
And the second time I think would still been around, would never stopped if it wasn't for the COVID.
Yep.
And I was a big PJ fan. He was on his way to be the MVP of the league. He was that year. I'm excited for XFL to be coming back here real soon. We're here February, but the Panthers are playing the Falcons, who the Falcons are an up and down team. There's times they look great, or I ain't gonna say great, but they look like a good team, and other times they look like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're 6.5-point favorites at home in this game. I lean toward the Falcons, but the Panthers did play a pretty good game yesterday. But they're playing against the Bucs, who have looked bad. Their defense isn't playing well. Their offense has just been terrible. I mean, Steelers and Eagles. Eagles are 10.5-point favorites at home. I think Steelers are going to have trouble keeping up with the Eagles offense.
102.
Dolphins at the Lions. I like what the Lions have been doing, but I like the Dolphins in this game as 3.5-point favorites. Dolphins, Tua looked decent coming back, so it was nice seeing them back out there as well.
Yeah.
Cardinals at the Vikings. I know Austin isn't going to like this, but I favor the Vikings in this game. Vikings are at home. Cardinals offense just hasn't looked great. Their defense hasn't been playing real well. I know they did win the game the other night, but the Vikings are on a roll. They've only lost that one game, which was like the first or second week of the season. So I like the Vikings at the minus 3.5. I'll give out my official picks for these games on Friday. We're just kind of going through some of them.
I was going to ask you a question real quick. I've been thinking about it a little bit. What would you be your top 5 in the NFL right now?
Top 5 in the NFL right now, I'd go Bills.
I agree. I had the Bills 1.
I'd probably go Chiefs at 2.
Yep.
I'd probably put the Eagles at 3.
Yep. That's what I have.
And then, man, after that, it gets kind of hard.
I'm going to surprise you.
I hate to say it, but I'd probably put, I'm going to say San Francisco at 4 and Dallas at 5. And maybe Dallas at 4.
I'm going to surprise you with my number 4. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, no, the Bengals.
Even though
the
records are only like 4 and 3, but
their offensive line's starting to play better. And
I like the
Burrow's
Bengals.
looking better.
I'd go Bengals 4.
I agree. I'd go Bengals 4, and then probably Dallas at 5.
And I know Minnesota's only lost one
Minnesota
game.
Probably right there at 6 for me.
Yeah, but
And the only reason I'm taking Dallas over Minnesota is because that Dallas defense is just nasty.
Yes.
And I'm not a Cowboy fan at all, so it pains me to put them in.
Don't get me wrong, Eagles may be the best team, but they got to prove a little bit more.
I do like the Bengals.
I still the Bengals is a dangerous team. They're a team that's capable of beating the Bills, or a team that's capable of beating Kansas City. I'm not saying they're going to. I'm saying they're capable of. If the offensive line plays well enough with Burrows back here, and they've got enough weapons with receiver and running back.
Burrow's that dude. He can. I mean, he can carry. He can carry a team.
Plus, they've got great receivers.
They got good receiving core
and a good
running back. And the offensive line is starting to gel. Because that offensive line was all new guys.
Defense is decent. They're a dangerous team. That's a team, I think, again, like last year, that's, of course, surprised everybody. I think they're a team to watch out.
And they're starting to play better ball, too. Because, like I said, the offensive line's starting to gel. Because that was a whole new offensive line. So it took them guys a little time to get used to each other. They almost got Burrow killed in that process. But no, I'd put the Bengals there right there at 4 or 5. But I like the Bills as the best team right now.
And Dallas did play a little bit different with Dak back there. They didn't go crazy. He only threw the ball 25 times. So
if they, see, that's what they need to do. If they're balanced like that, they're going to be they can be tough.
If they can play with Dak and score 24 points a game,
they're
going to be tough to deal with that defense.
Yeah. I think the 49ers are going to be right around there too.
They might be, but they've been so inconsistent so far.
Yeah.
They've really been inconsistent, and they've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's true. Patriots at the Jets. I think that's going to be a good game. I do. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Patriots are 2.5-point favorites on the road. Titans at Texans. Titans are 1.5. Titans are only a 1.5-point favorite over Houston.
Do you think losing that running back for the Jets is going to really hurt them?
I think so, because that's been most of their offense has been him. I think they're going to look for a running back. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gets signed here. If not today, maybe tomorrow. I bet you they're trying to work something out and get somebody. You have the Giants at the Seahawks. I think that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Giants are 5-1. I don't think it. 5-1, right?
Yeah. And the Seahawks.
Nobody expected them to be.
Seahawks were heading to division. Who I seen a quote from their coach. They asked him about that. What do you think? He said, "Who would have thunk that?" Not him. And they're winning the division at this point.
Yeah.
And that Walker,
Geno Smith has been balling.
Yeah, and that Walker is a running back.
Walker Jr. the third or something like that. Yeah. He had a hell of a game yesterday. Then we have the Commanders at the Colts. Colts get a home game. Colts are 2.5-point favorites. I wonder the line I don't think the line has changed much. I was wondering if the line was going to change with the Colts switching quarterbacks. Colts are minus 132 on the money line. The Commanders are plus 112. So they have it pretty close. Yeah. Over under is 40.5. I would go with the under the 40.5. But with that being said, I haven't seen what the offense looks like under Ellinger.
I'll tell you what.
But the way the Colts have been averaging 13 points a game, and the Commanders don't score a whole lot of points either.
No, but I think Commanders, I hate to say it, Chris, they might be a better team with Heineke than with Wentz.
Yeah, they might. But their defense isn't very good. Hasn't been playing very good. But we're going to have basically a rookie quarterback out there too. Like I said, my pick on this, because I'm always going to root for. I'm always going to be on the Colts side.
They held Green Bay down, but of course Green Bay's playing terrible.
But I'm always going to say the Colts. I won't pick against them. But if I was going to put money on this game, I would go under the 40.5. Just from what I've seen from both these teams, neither one of them score a lot of points in the game. Like I said, Colts that average like just under 13 points a game. That was with Matt Ryan at quarterback. And Washington isn't much better than that. No. I think they might average 15, 16 points a game or something. So I like the under the 40.5 in that game. I'd be surprised if both teams get in the 20s. And then Sunday night, Packers and Bills. Bills are 10.5-point favorite over the Packers. I like the Bills in the game. I don't know if I would take 10.5 just because I know the Packers haven't looked good, but it's still Aaron Rodgers on that side of the ball on that team.
I think I like the Bills in the point and giving up the points.
10.5.
I just don't see Green Bay being able to stop them.
Yeah, that's true. Green Bay's defense has not been playing well either,
and plus,
the offense don't score a lot of points.
You're on the field all the time.
That's true. And
not to Buffalo, when they're healthy, is a decent defense. I don't see anything that points to Green Bay is going to change.
That's true. But the primetime game, you never know. Might see a little bit of magic. But I like the Bills in the game.
There's definitely desperation because Green Bay's in trouble. They've got to start winning games or they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Bengals and Browns is the Monday night game next week.
It should be a good game.
Yeah,
it's
divisional
a
game. I was gonna say divisional game. So
big rivalry.
Bengals are 3-point favorites on the road, minus 166. The Browns are plus 140 on the money line. Over under is 47. I like the Bengals here at the 3. I'd take the Bengals and give up the 3 points. Nothing against the Browns because the Browns have a pretty good defense when they show up and play, but sometimes they collapse and start to fade out in the fourth quarter because I think they get a little tired because their offense. They don't score a lot of points in offense. They have a great running game, but if you can stop the running game, you have a decent chance of beating them right now. Don't get me wrong, Jacoby Brissett's he's a serviceable quarterback, but he's not like one of the guys like Burrow or one of them guys that are just going to go out and win the game for you. But he has been playing well. He don't turn does pretty good about not turning the ball over. So
He's played pretty decent so far this year.
if he can keep him in it, I think they're going to try to bring Watson in when he gets back.
Yep.
And if you never know what could happen when Watson came back. I think he'd be a little rusty, but I mean, you never know. It could change that whole offense.
Yep.
But I think another case came out on him, so who knows what happens with that. All right, let's get to our picks of the day. Monday Night Football. Like I said, the Patriots are 8.5-point favorites. I like the under the. It's actually changed, so I'm going to take it at under the 39.5 because I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Neither offense has been real. Has been putting up a lot of points. So I like the 39. Bears defense is decent. They can sometimes tire out toward the end of the game because they're on the field so much. Because the Bears offense has just been pretty much non-existent. So I like the under in that game. I want to take the Patriots in 8.5. I just don't think there's going to be that many points scored. So I could see this being like a 3 or 4 or 5 point game. Yeah. Then in the NBA tonight, because there is no NFL or Major League Baseball. NBA tonight, I like the Indiana Pacers plus the 12 points at the Philadelphia 76ers. Not saying the Pacers win the game outright, but I do think they cover. I think 12 points is way too many. Then I like the Miami Heat at home against the Toronto Raptors at the minus 3.5. I like the Utah Jazz money line against the Houston Rockets. You can get that minus 136. And then the other game I like is the Boston Celtics minus 6 against the Chicago Bulls. So for tonight, I'm giving out 5 picks. 1 pick in Monday Night Football under 39.5. Heat minus 3.5 in the NBA. Celtics minus 6. Utah Jazz on the money line, and the Pacers at plus 12. That's my picks for today. You have anything to add?
Nope, not today.
I know you're more of a football guy than you are the NBA.
Yeah, I'm not big on NBA.
Got college basketball coming here real soon,
Yeah.
so that'll be nice. Appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room and at All Sports All Plays Sports Network. Follow us on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where I post all the information about our shows. Also follow the All Sports All Plays Network on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and all that as well. All Sports All Plays. We will be live later this evening with the Horseshoe Talk, our Indianapolis Colts show. We'll talk about the Colts making a quarterback change and how we think that'll affect the team going into the game next week. And then also tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, we have Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. As we'll recap the NFL over the weekend. We'll talk baseball. We'll talk some NBA. So come join us for that. And then this Wednesday at 7 p.m., we have pro wrestling young tag team that's on fire right now, the Dirty Birds. They came on with us, I think, about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, they just had a big title match a couple weeks ago, and they got another. I think they have another big match probably coming up, so they're going to come on and join us on Wednesday. Should be a great time. They have a great following. The flock. I'm sure the flock is going to show up and be in the comment section. And I'm sure Bulletproof Posse will probably show up in the comment section.
Probably.
So it should be an interesting interview Wednesday night. So join us for that. We do not have no live pro wrestling that we're doing this weekend. No show yet.
Not at this point.
So we appreciate everybody watching. Easy Money will be back again tomorrow, round 3, maybe just a little after 3. We try to get started close to 3 as possible. Sometimes the afternoon show runs a little over, and so we start a few minutes late. But we'll be live tomorrow. Join us won't have no Around the Bases tomorrow. Around the Bases, our baseball show will be back on Wednesday morning at 9. Join me and the stat guy Dustin Reese for that, as we'll talk about we'll preview the World Series and give our thoughts on who we think is going to win and kind of what each team needs to do to come out victorious. So we'll talk about all that. So join us Wednesday morning for that. And then I think that's everything. I think I covered everything. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. We'll be. You can find me at 1 p.m. Eastern, ASAP Afternoon Blitz at the All Sports All Plays Network, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Also on that's also on TV on Roku TV, Tiki Live, and some other ones. But I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow right around 3 with another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Hope everybody has a great evening, and stay safe.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.